Hey guys, so I have another traditional knife here today, and this is a Great Eastern Cutlery number 14 Lick Creek boys knife, and this is a special factory order by Red Camel Bone from KnivesShipFree. So I'll go over the tube real quick. So Eastern Cutlery, Lick Creek boys knife, hammer tested, frozen forged, 1095 carbon steel, and why did it go out of focus there? There we go, special factory order, Red Bone. There's his address for KnivesShipFree in Escanaba, Michigan. So if you don't, let's look at the top of the tube there. If you've never used KnivesShipFree though, it's a great website for buying knives. So model number 14, 2 for the main blade, spear point blade, 2 because it has a secondary blade, 2016, and it's in Red Camel Bone. There's nothing on the back of the tube, so I'll put that aside. So here's the knife itself. So you can see that it is dyed red camel bone, and of course both sides are slightly different because of the way the dye works into the bone there. So you're never going to have the exact same color on both sides. And one thing that I really appreciate about KnivesShipFree is that you get the knife. Like, so for covers on traditional knives like this, camel bone, not ones where it would be kind of standard, like the acrylic, like the night bred acrylic. That's not going to change from knife to knife. It's just going to be a solid color, or linen micarta. But for these natural handle materials like camel bone, they actually have pictures of each individual knife that's for sale, and so when you pick the knife, you're getting the actual knife that you're looking at in the pictures. So when there's actually multiple listings with the same cover material, but they have the actual pictures of the knife itself, so you can get an idea of because of the way that the dye works with the camel bone, you can get an idea of what you're actually getting before you actually get it. And all the stock at KnivesShipFree is also live, so once it goes out of stock, that disappears. But yeah, not endorsed by KnivesShipFree or anything, but I've had really good experience with them. I think that with the way Red Bone runs that business is just great, and especially for buying traditionals like this. And he also owns the Northwoods brand of knives. So the number 14 here is it's kind of in between number 15. This is a Tom's Choice Barlow, so it's not as big as the number 15. It's a little bit smaller. But also, it is not as small as this, the number 18 Beagle. So I have a previous video on that. So the Beagle is definitely smaller. So the 18 frame is smaller, but it's not as big as a 15 frame. It kind of gives you an idea. So the main blade you have here, the spear point blade, and you actually have a long pole on that spear point blade. So even though you don't have an easy open notch or anything, you do have a nice long pole. Very nicely done. This is a Eastern Cutlery from GEC, so it's their main line, not the Northfield's Unexcelled, which is their more polished up, I guess, fancier designs. But I think even on these designs, just the fit and finish is great. Let's see if I can get that to focus. So it says Eastern Cutlery, made in the USA on the main blade, and then you have the model number. So 14 on the 14 frame again, 2 for the main spear blade, 2 blades because it has a secondary blade, and 2016 for the year of the manufacturer. So that's the main spear point blade. The pull's around, I don't know, maybe a 6. Yeah, maybe a 6 or so. It's not very tough. It is a boy's knife, as they call it, for number 14. So the pulls are not as stiff as they would be on a larger frame knife. So you have a secondary pen blade, and on that pen blade you have the marking. If I can get it to focus, it says Great Eastern TIW for Titusville Ironworks. So typical spear main, pen secondary, very similar to a Tom's Choice, to this particular Tom's Choice Barlow with a spear main and pen secondary. Where is, oh yeah, it's on the opposite side there. So this came in various different handle materials, but this Red Camel Bone is exclusive to KnivesShipFree. It's a special factory order through Derek Bone, which so I wasn't really planning to buy a number 14 until I was browsing KnivesShipFree, and I saw that he had a exclusive Red Camel Bone, and I've really enjoyed these dyed camel bone knives recently. I have a Northwoods in orange camel bone. This is a Broadway jack, also on the 15 frame like a TC Barlow. I also have a Northwoods Esky Zulu in black camel bone. This was actually from a knife sale on the Apostle Peace channel. I don't think it was his personal knife, but he did sell it on a knife sale. But I really like these camel bone covers on these knives, and Northwoods does it a lot. That's also, Northwoods is a company that is owned by Derek Bone, but a lot of the productions go through GEC. So you're getting GEC fit and finish with different design. Well, and they're still built on Great Eastern Cutlery frames, but you get Derek Bone's designs from KnivesShipFree. Not really reviewing these knives. Take these out of the way. So it's a small traditional. It's not extremely large, but it's also not extremely small. Especially with that 18 beagle. The beagle is very small. So you get a reasonable amount of blade, and a reasonable amount of handle. And that cover material, it just, the way that red dye took into that camel bone just looks great. And it's typical GEC fit and finish, that it's hard to find a flaw in this. Everything is just really nicely finished, really, really, really well done. Let's see if I can get... So there's a liner in between the two blades. There, as you can see. I guess that bolt says on the top end. no shield on this. So it's just the red camel bone handle covers, and that's it. There's no shield. The only markings for GEC are on the blades. Well, down here. There's no on the actual blades blades themselves. They're just plain. So there's no laser etching or anything on the blades. They're stamped over there near the pivots. Just really well done. Every GEC I've had so far, the fit and finish is just superb. It's really hard to find any kind of rough transitions or anything. Everything's smoothed out well. So let's see if I can get a good close-up of that handle material. So on this side, you can tell there's a little bit more whites, a little bit more of the texture of the bone showing there. Now these are smooth handles, so they're smoothed out, so you don't feel any texture. You can kind of get the idea. And then the other side is much darker red. Yeah, so that one took in a little bit more dye. So darker spot there. A little bit of texture there. Overall, I think that this is a great knife for everyday carry, like many GECs are. I think it looks great with those handle materials there, with those handle covers, the red camel bone. So that's it for this video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.